It all started with a locket, a simple, unassuming piece of jewelry nestled in a dusty corner of an antique shop. Emily had been drawn to it inexplicably, as if it called to her. The locket was old, tarnished silver with intricate engravings and a tiny, almost imperceptible ruby embedded in its center. She bought it on a whim, charmed by its vintage allure. That night, Emily sat at her vanity, examining her new acquisition. As she opened the locket, a chill ran down her spine. Inside was a faded photograph of a woman, her eyes hauntingly familiar, and a lock of hair. Emily shivered but dismissed it as her imagination. She fastened the locket around her neck and went to bed. The nightmares began immediately. In her dreams, Emily found herself in a dark, decaying mansion. The air was thick with the stench of rot and despair. She wandered through endless corridors, each turn leading her deeper into the labyrinth. Shadows danced on the walls, whispering her name. At the heart of the mansion, she found the woman from the photograph, her eyes hollow and lifeless. The woman reached out, her fingers cold as ice, and whispered, "Free me." Emily woke up in a cold sweat, the locket burning against her skin. She tried to remove it, but the clasp wouldn't budge. Panic set in as she tugged and pulled, but the locket remained firmly in place. She glanced at the mirror and gasped. The woman from her dreams stood behind her, a sinister smile on her lips. The next few days were a blur of misfortune. Emily's car broke down, her boss fired her for no apparent reason, and her friends started avoiding her. Everywhere she went, she felt the woman's presence, watching, waiting. The locket grew heavier with each passing day, its weight a constant reminder of her impending doom. Desperate, Emily returned to the antique shop, hoping to find answers. The shopkeeper, an old man with a knowing look in his eyes, listened to her tale with a grave expression. "The locket is cursed," he said. "It once belonged to a woman named Eliza, who was wrongfully accused of witchcraft and executed. Her spirit is trapped within the locket, seeking revenge on anyone who possesses it." Emily's heart sank. "How do I break the curse?" The shopkeeper handed her a worn, leather-bound book. "There is a ritual, but it is dangerous. You must perform it at the place where Eliza was executed, under the light of a full moon." With no other options, Emily set out to find the execution site. After days of research, she discovered it was an old, abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town, the same mansion from her nightmares. On the night of the full moon, Emily arrived at the mansion, the locket feeling like a lead weight around her neck. She followed the instructions in the book, drawing a circle of salt and lighting black candles. As she chanted the incantation, the air grew cold, and the shadows seemed to come alive. Eliza's spirit appeared, her eyes filled with rage. "You cannot free me," she hissed. "You will suffer as I have suffered." Emily's voice trembled as she continued the ritual, her heart pounding in her chest. The ground beneath her began to shake, and the walls of the mansion groaned. Eliza's spirit lunged at her, but the circle of salt held her back. With a final desperate cry, Emily completed the incantation. The locket grew unbearably hot, and then, with a blinding flash of light, it shattered. Eliza's spirit let out a blood-curdling scream and vanished. Emily collapsed to the ground. The weight of the curse lifted. She had survived, but the experience had left her scarred. The mansion crumbled around her, a fitting end to the place where so much suffering had occurred. As she walked away from the ruins, Emily vowed never to let curiosity get the better of her again. The cursed locket was gone, but its memory would haunt her forever. The story of the Cursed Locket spread, a cautionary tale for those who dared to meddle with the unknown. And somewhere in the shadows, Eliza's spirit waited, biding her time, for curses are not so easily broken.